And this is A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome to the most must-see wrestling review and live reaction show in all of YouTube. Welcome to A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition. With us, as always, we have our channel mascot, Bone Crusher, who just plopped down.
I thought she was coming up here, but
I did so as well. I want to make sure we are looking good, we're sounding good. I think it might be a little fuzzy, but it'll clear up if it is. What's going on, people? What's good? I know it's a bit of a surprise that we dropped this live on you, but like we said, we're trying to go live more often. And what we are also planning on doing is possibly doing a live review of Monday Night Raw, more so than reactions, because for whatever reason, our reactions lately have been getting dinked by WWE copyright, and then it's partially blocked, fully blocked. Put a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort into this for you all, and it kind of sucks that it may never see the light of day. So we don't want it to be wild and crazy, but you know what? If I gotta get crazy with YouTube, I might, but I think we might be going live. Before we get into anything more, as always,
shout outs.
We're gonna give some shouts to the people that are in here first in line with the Fast Pass. Who is it? DJ Tate. What's going on?
Tate.
Number one in line. Good to see you.
We missed you last time.
What up, Sophie Dophie? How are you?
Sophie Dophie.
All right, we got King Swag in the house. What up, King Swag? Nation of Domination, which was also featured on Raw 30. If y'all caught that. What up, Marcel World? Good to see you.
Hey, Marcel.
King Swag. Yeah, Jody Bennett. Woo!
Jody.
What's going on, Jody? Jedi Knight 88.
Acknowledged.
That's what we're talking about. Good to see you in here. Who else do we have? Somebody else. Neptune X. How you doing, Neptune X? What up, OG Shayla?
Shayla in the house. Hey, Shayla.
Good to see you. And I love the fact that we know each other. That's the nice thing about community like this.
Yeah.
That after a while, people get to know one another and say, hey, so that's really awesome. What up, Samantha Poole?
Samantha Poole, I need you to do my makeup, boo.
Dang. She said she forgot all about the Bellas. That's kind of cold. What up, Zay? Good to see you. Shayla, you were right for the women's division. Only problem is we want someone to start something with the guys. If you throw it out in the ear fast as Papa H could change his underwear. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to play the clips. I'm sure by now y'all know Bella said some things, so we're going to talk about it. Dro Davidian, you're right.
Hey, Dro.
Brock has returned.
I know you're happy.
It's unleashed.
I know you're happy.
But the Almighty is going to have something to say about it. Promise you that. What up, Quantaven Moore? Good to see you.
Quantaven.
Have y'all had a homecoming? You talking about school homecoming? What is it you're referring to there? Sophie Dophie with that first super chat. Thank you, Sophie Dophie, the OG member. You should thank your boy Roman. Thanks to that trial segment, that steel cage match wouldn't have been cut. I mean, we're gonna talk about that too. And it all ties in to what the Bellas are saying. I feel strongly about it. I feel some type of way about it. I don't know if we're in full agreement on it, but we talked about it a little bit earlier. There's a little, I don't know. So I don't know. Might be a lively conversation. Thank you, Sophie, for that super chat. I really appreciate that.
You.
Who else in here? We'll say a couple more shouts, and then we'll talk about it. Jaden Winchester, what's going on, Jaden? Good to see you. Emily Brown.
Terry Thomas.
Jonelle. Yeah, we got some of the.
Welcome.
We got some peeps in here. What up, Joshua? Good to see you. All right, so.
Did you see Richie Bailey?
Where's Richie Bailey?
You just went by. Go back down.
Did I pass Richie Bailey? Richie Bailey! We live. We in here. Oos. That's
hey,
what's up.
Alvin. Welcome.
That's what's up. I didn't mean to scroll past you. Christian Thomas. See,
Hey,
we in the
Christian.
building.
Yes, welcome.
Aaron Drew, Raw 30 was a 10 out of 10. I mean,
It was good.
all in all, it was a really good show.
Even with the cage match canceled, it was good.
All in all, it was a really good show. So, Sophie Dovey, no super chat right there. Sophie Dovey, we see you. Thank you. Did you hear the Steve Austin versus Roman rumor? I did. I don't know if you did. There's a rumor that they may be trying to book a match with Roman Reigns and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't buy it.
I didn't really care too much to even see it with KO. And I don't like seeing our people come back when they're hurt and they're limping and it just takes away. You guys know I'm not for coming out of retirement to fight the champ. That doesn't.
Although he's been getting in shape, he's been posting on his
Has
social
he?
media. He's getting the guns together. If you want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin go against the Tribal Chief, give me a hell yeah.
No.
Dang,
Kamante Jackson, and look who it is. George, say it with me. Lowry.
What's
Please
going
love saying
on?
your name, George Lowry.
What up, The Glow Channel?
Glow Channel in the house.
Good to see you in here as well. I saw another super chat. Your boy MJ, what's up?
What's up? Cliffy G. Does that say Cliffy G? Oh, my glasses on.
Alvin Everett, good to see you in here. Cliffy G, yes it is.
Welcome.
And Richie Bailey.
Super Chat champion, coming in
Defending,
strong.
reigning, undisputed. So excited for the Rumble, y'all. Not even gonna lie, especially after that Sami Zayn trial. My favorite segment so far this year. Loved Jay in the segment and loved how Roman said to Sami, I don't want to see you till Saturday. Wise man, I don't want to see him.
Well, what the wise man got to do with it? What's he gonna do?
Got to carry out the orders, dog. Got to carry out the orders. I mean, Sami done proved himself one more again. And like Jay said, my man is bulletproof. That's family right there.
Oh, it was so emotional. There were so many tears in the ring. It was so beautiful.
I don't know what's going to go down at the World Rumble, though, because he said one more test. Basically, I don't think it's just a question of Sami just seeing if he's going to, help the bloodline on the outside. Like, I think he's going to put Sami in a position.
We actually haven't seen Roman sign that contract yet. Is it signed?
I don't believe so. I think it went sideways.
Thanks, champ.
Thank you, Richie Bailey, for always supporting us the way you do. Thank you very, very much. And another super. All right,
Hey,
Rubio the Cocker Spaniel.
Rubio the Cocker Spaniel in a minute.
Good to see you in here. And thank you for that super chat.
Yes.
Wow. Welcome back. Rated RKO is coming back for one last run.
I hope so. I mean, he's been missed, man, and I hope he has one more run in him. I think he's healing up well.
For me, I want both of them to be healthy and better. I hope that Orton's back is good, and I hope that Riddle is. He had some. It was a situation with him, so I hope he's kicked that. He's healthy. He's feeling better. I would love to see RK Bro because I know they got one more run, and I know they could be tag champions.
If they bring them back together, because what WWE is famous for, and I don't know if this will be different with Triple H, is one person gets injured on your team, and then when they come back, no more tag team. There's no reason Sheamus and Cesaro never got back together.
True.
That was only an injury that broke them up. They never had a falling out.
True.
So I don't know.
What do you think? You don't think it's gonna go down?
I maybe, but they usually don't.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I think we got one more. I think we got one more super chat right here. Yes, we do. Thank you, Rubio, Sophie Dofi. I feel like The Rock is trolling us.
I hope so.
I don't know. I think this weekend would be very telling. If whatever happens after this match, and it's weird because I don't think The Rock is showing up. I think if the tribal court ended with Roman just saying found not guilty and it just left it at that, and then they just went into Royal Rumble, then that feels more natural. Like you need something bigger after that match. It feels weird to me to say you've got one more test. I don't want to say they're making a really big deal about this. Something's got to happen, and it just feels like The Rock coming in afterwards would just kind of take away from this whole Sammy thunder. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah. So I don't know. If he does, I don't know if he's going to show up the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I really don't. But let's talk about it.
Hey, Roland Bird, how are you?
What up, Roland Bird? So the main reason that we came on here today, and we know that a lot of people have already talked about it. I really let me put this up. Let me put this up.
Put it up, baby.
All right, let me put up the graphic. Right here. Raw 30 went down, and it was a chocked full of legends show. The first hour commercial free. Basically the whole hour was really dedicated to the bloodline. Let's just be honest. The ceremony, well, not ceremony, the tribal court took about 30 some odd minutes, right? And because of that, something got cut. Overall, I thought it was a good show. Mm-hmm. The tribal court was emotional. Sammy had some tears, and to see it twist, because it looked to me like Solo was a little conflicted, but I love in the beginning it was Solo and Sammy against, like, right, you know what I mean?
And then it was Solo was ready to take him out.
And his brother stops him, emotions. Reigns is like, what are you know?
Yeah, he wasn't even sure what was happening.
Beautiful. I've said many a time when legends come back, sometimes it can be a little cringy. And there were a couple of moments with the DX segment.
If anything should have been cut shorter, it was the DX segment.
Just a smidge.
Because it started feeling like I was watching Lucy and Ricky do a vaudeville show.
Shayla's out of here. Good night, Shayla.
Good night, Shayla.
We appreciate you stopping in.
It got a little cringy for me.
Is Bone Crusher still alive? Yes, she is.
Yes, she's down here asleep.
Sleeping. She's had a hard day of barking. And just laying around, licking herself. So, you know, what are you going to do? But no, I mean, I think overall, using the legends the way that they did, I love how they used Kurt Angle. They brought in the Today guys like the Street Profits and whatnot, and the Imperium. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, that was great as far as bringing that together for the match or whatever. But it just drug on a little bit long. And I think with the Usos, I think they probably went over by like 10 minutes or something, right? But the thing is, like, we've both put on, like, I've put on a conference before, and I have things scheduled, and this speaker has this long, and then we have this long, and this speaker. And we ran late every time and always had to cut stuff out. And I think that it stinks that the match got cut short, but we've seen them fight week after week after week. We just have. And really, I don't know what else you would have cut. I wouldn't prefer to have seen them over the Street Profits and Seth versus Imperium. I wouldn't want the Undertaker and Bray's skit with LA Knight to have been any shorter. I think that the tribal court probably could have been a bit shorter, but once you go out there and the audience is into it and you're playing into the audience, you kind of let it get, the audience has to lead you when you go to the next segment, when you do whatever. And I think that they were just really into it. The Judgment Day and the Uso whole thing was so great. It was like a big soap opera. It was so great. So if they could have like cut DX's segment a little bit and maybe gave those two ladies a little more time, but overall, the show was great.
Overall, the show was great.
It was great.
Roland Bird's got to go. Thank you, Roland. We appreciate you for stopping in. No, it was a good show. I think it's probably the best Raw under Triple H's regime. The backstage segment with the APA and the poker and all that, good stuff. Again, could have been cut a little bit, because for my money, and in looking back on it, and we looked at it again today, I just the whole thing about the women's evolution and this hashtag WWE women deserve better. I personally agree, and on the show we have talked a little bit about the women and especially certain women that we don't feel are really selling it like they should and doing it like they should. And I think it's just a training thing. But we are very big proponents of the women. So once again, I think it's fair to say throughout the 30-year run of Monday Night Raw, one more again, and something that'll never happen again, the women got the short end of the stick. That because of what happened with, granted, arguably the best storyline going in WWE, if not pro wrestling, it had to do what it had to do. But the whole women's evolution really started to take effect because of this 2-minute match with the Bella Twins. And I think it's ironic that whole steel cage beatdown, because we timed it.
We did.
That took about 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yeah.
So one more time, you had another 2-minute situation.
Which means you had only probably booked it for 10 to 15. So the fact that you cut it down like that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. It would have made more sense to shorten one of those drag on backstage segments than it would have to cut their match. I agree with you. I don't think it was a great on the minute decision call. Those calls are sometimes hard to make. But also they have pretty much had Rhea Ripley out there in some way since she started. And same with Bianca. And why? Why is Charlotte and Bianca? And why are they always out there, Becky? Because they're badasses. And then you have a whole bunch of fluff in the locker room. Let's just be honest. And so I understand what you guys are saying, but I also understand that they did give the women a chance. They gave them their own pay-per-view and no one showed up for it. Nobody wanted to see it.
A couple people showed up.
Hey, we watched it, but it wasn't popular. Yeah. Those videos didn't get a lot of views and they couldn't sell the seats out.
Yeah.
So the reality is that people say they want it, but not everybody wants it. Not everyone's there for it. And maybe everybody would be there for it if all the women came in there on the level of a Becky, of a Bailey, of a Sasha, of a Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Of a Bianca. Like, these women are big. They're tough. Look at Jade Cargill. Like, we talk about Jade Cargill is like, you cannot look at her. She's so amazing. And that is what you're supposed to be entertained. And all the little fluff and the, it's sometimes it is just filler.
So let me ask you guys this. What happened to Zion Quinn? I don't know. I don't know. Good question. He just kind of disappeared. So let me play a couple of clips. Let me play a couple of clips. All right, so check it out. We have this situation over here. Let me go ahead and play this. And I think y'all saw it, but let's go ahead and play it.
Another good member gone wrong. How didn't they showcase anything from the women's evolution?
But also the way we did our matches
With
on
Sasha
there,
Banks and they're like, we can't.
and the Bellas, there's a bunch of us. And
Mercedes is too over, and we can't say her name.
There's a couple other girls and Rhea. There's a bunch of us they don't want to show. That's fine.
That's fine.
Right. So then
wow.
Nikki Bella chimed in a little bit afterwards. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but here's what she additionally said.
Right. And that's why it's so important to have women represent, because for so many of the fans, they have their different eras of China, of Lita and Trish, of Melina, Mickey, Michelle, Beth, Candice, the list goes on, of those incredible women, that era, then our era of AJ, Paige, Brie and I, and then so on. So I love that you guys are doing that hashtag. And I think you're going to start to see a lot of narratives play because people have to protect themselves, and you're going to get a lot of women blamed, and you're going to have people call them crybabies and all that. And it's like, no, we put in just as much as the effort and work. And all those women do, all of them from every era, every person. And by the way, not just women, men too, because I think there's some male superstars that can feel away. But like anyone who ever walks down that ramp and gets in that ring, one, they're putting their body on the line, but they have a love and passion for the business.
Yeah. So they have a love and passion for the business. I gotta tell you, I don't disagree. I know they were scheduled to show. They were billed, and I believe whatever
They didn't like what they were doing.
they didn't like it, and they decided not to do it.
But that's so interesting because what you ended up doing is not representing yourself and your generation and yourself as Hall of Famers coming on the show. Even if you didn't necessarily like how the bit went, I mean, it's live. Mix it up in the middle of it. Were they going to fire you? But I think they could have still showed, not for WWE, the corporate, but for WWE, the fans who would have wanted to see the Bella twins.
Now, I know people have been
So you
saying
can play that both ways.
the Bellas aren't like legends, and they
No.
didn't do all. Again,
But they
I think
weren't
they
awful.
are. No, they were
They
good,
weren't awful.
but they were an integral part. And again, this whole thing started with their 2-minute match.
And Total Divas took the Divas from Divas to Raw Super Women Stars. That's the reality of it. That show was as popular, like second to the Kardashians. It was so popular. It's where we all learned that Nikki was dating John Cena, and that the behind the scenes with Tamina and with the family and Naomi.
And speaking of, is Tamina injured?
I don't know. I haven't seen her at all. But I mean, who else have you seen from backstage? But my point is that that I feel like they were talking about that too earlier today, and that all the women who were on Total Divas had to still do their full-time jobs, try to film in between for little of no money. And then the rest of the people at WWE, the women especially, were hating on them that they were getting the opportunity. So they really did. And it was that doing that show totally had people who never watched it before, got into them, and then wanted to see the show because of them. Because they brought John Cena to life and all these people to life and what they do to life. And so I had coworkers who all of a sudden knew who Nikki Bella was and knew who John Cena was. And I was like, why do you know that? Oh, because I watched Total Divas.
Yeah.
So that's a real thing too.
Just Alex's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like
Alex.
us, a friend of the channel. What is going on, brother? Like he said, like the video, hit it, smash it, rack it, stack it, do whatever you got to do. We appreciate you, Alex. Thank you very much for always showing up and supporting us like you do.
Milk 35.
What's up? So
Hey, Trevor.
I gotta ask the question.
Gotta ask.
It's a new year. It's 2023. Why are we still talking about the women not getting their fair share of the pie?
Especially in a 3-hour show.
Like this is what I'm having a hard time with. We watched the whole thing, we slowed it down, we rewinded it, we looked at the video packages. There were certainly a couple of things with women, like you said, they showed China and Eddie Guerrero. Like they showed a couple of things.
They showed Becky.
But I mean, 30 years of Monday Night Raw.
Well, also they could be petty. So when y'all decided not to come, they could have took you out of that montage.
But I mean, there was
Can't put
plenty
that
of
past
people.
them. We know they're like that.
You can't say, I don't recall seeing Naomi. Maybe I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely didn't have Mercedes Moné. I mean, the list goes on and on. I know Stacey Kleber, Tori, like there are so many women. I don't even really. Did they show Mae Young? Did they show the Fabulous Moolah?
Anything like that.
Like
I didn't feel like they did old school dudes that far back.
yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they. I think in the beginning, and they had the old school kind of like the graphics.
Right.
But I mean, overall, in a 3-hour show, and I felt like the Charlotte thing was weird, but it was fine. But then, obviously Bianca comes out, got to hold her own. This is my brand. And then Sonya comes out. That match felt a little forced to me.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit forced. And I felt like the whole segment was unfortunate because Charlotte, I feel like she just now is getting people to kind of like her, and to have her dad come out and do that is kind of reminding all the people who are like, see that you're just where you are because the dad. So I felt like it almost could turn on her in that way. I'm sure they just wanted to have a nice moment for him and his daughter, but I just felt like that wasn't the smartest thing to do with her right now.
Tamina was backstage in the poker segment. Okay, I thought I might have saw, but I didn't
okay.
She wasn't, I wouldn't say featured, which
Right.
is weird, especially because she is part of the bloodline. She is part of this dynasty. She premiered with the Usos. There should have been more of a prominence.
Right. And actually, I'm a little bit concerned now that I think about it that they did change that to Sammy's trial at the last minute, because why wouldn't you have a generational bloodline ceremony? This is a generational night. And so many of them, their parents, their uncle, their whatever, like why wouldn't you have done that and bring Tamina out and everything? So the fact that they took that off seems disrespectful. I don't really know what that was about, but I wonder if The Rock really isn't coming, and so they needed to carry this Sammy thing out at the last minute.
Shayla's back. Welcome back, Shayla. Hey, Eric Muro, good to see you. Just Alex. I mean, what are you talking here? AJ Lee, AJ. Y'all see AJ Lee? She wasn't. It's okay. She's always here. Mercedes, Saraya. Political reasons, like you said, petty.
Oh yeah.
But
it
you'll
could have been
show
the Bellas too at this point, is what I'm saying. If they said, "Nah, forget it, we're not coming," they'll be like, "Well, forget it, we're not featuring you in our thing." They're petty like that.
Well, yeah. See, playing favorites, but yeah, of course they're playing favorites. But you will show controversial Vince McMahon, obviously, and again, this started with him. We totally get that, but there was controversy. You literally started the show. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I'm not dropping N-words here, dude, but I'm gonna go ahead. And you understand, brother. That is how you open the show, with one of the more controversial wrestlers in recent WWE history. So seriously, you erase Hulk Hogan from the histories, from the annals of the WWE because of his comments. You're telling me that you can't get over the pettiness of these women, regardless of how you feel. This is not about your feelings. Your feelings don't matter. In this instance, WWE brass. What matters is showing respect to anyone that contributed to the success that Monday Night Raw was. Because if anybody has ever seen the original show, it was in a small arena in New York City, and by all rights, should have not been successful. It wasn't a great show. It was what it was, and it obviously got better. But there were a lot of people, especially a lot of the women, that contributed to the success of Monday Night Raw. There's only so much you can do in the 3-hour show. Totally get that. I'm just saying I don't get why you do have these controversial figures on the show, but you're also like, we're too petty to show these other people who also contributed to the success.
Right, because what they did was they would throw whatever superstars they had like guest star throughout the years to try to kind of, pop their chest out. Because why would you use the clip between Stephanie and Ronda Rousey? Why not use the clip between Stephanie and Nikki Bella? Was it Nikki or Brie? No, it's Brie, huh? Was it Brie that fought Stephanie? I think it was Brie.
Yes, it was Brie.
Like, why not show that clip? That clip is way more important, actually, than Stephanie and Ronda. You could keep shoving Ronda down the universe's throat. The universe does not respect Ronda because Ronda doesn't respect this business. So when you put that into play, like Brie said and Nikki was saying, like, they love this business. They put it all online for this business. But instead of featuring one of them with Stephanie during this whole women's revolution time, when everything was so important, you just have her with Ronda.
So that's why I was so disappointed. One of the main reasons I was so disappointed that Stephanie resigned for the second time. I've always felt a woman in her position, being co-CEO, being the chairwoman of the WWE, let's be honest, we've seen her in the ring. Stephanie can cut a promo with her eyes blindfolded, her hands tied behind her back. She is good on the mic. She's actually not bad when she gets down in the ring.
Right.
But if anybody should have been a champion, should have been protecting these women, is the very woman that, with her husband Triple H, talked to the women, I think it was on Total Divas, and said, we are dropping the Divas moniker. You are now superstars on par with the men. Your words, Stephanie, not ours.
And your husband showed in tonight's booking, in the way that they decided to play the tapes, the flashbacks and everything, that they are for sure not on par with the men at all.
But like just Alex also said,
a few sprinkled in there.
There were plenty of issues in the Attitude Era that you really cannot get away with today.
Oh, absolutely.
You couldn't even show. But there was more than just, TNA. And that's just the Attitude Era. And the Attitude Era was a small snippet in the grand scheme of 30 years. And it's disheartening that we still have to fight for women's fair share of the pie and have a hashtag WWE Women Deserve Better. Now we're getting give Divas a chance. And it's really unfortunate. So let's take it to the people. It's me, Hammy C. What's going on? Good to see you. About all the women superstar legends, why couldn't they do the same? Exactly.
And they really did not have Edge or Beth there either.
I don't even remember. We have to go back. Was Beth Phoenix featured in any of the?
I did not see her featured in anything.
Segments?
No, I would have noticed. I would have remembered that she was not.
Was Jazz one of my probably top 5 female superstars? I don't recall Jazz being in here. I don't recall seeing Alicia Fox being in. I mean, dude, come on, man. Again, 30 years can't fit everybody, male or female. But come on, man. We watched it all. The male female ratio in the video packages, in the 3-hour show.
I'm telling you, the more that we're talking about it, I guarantee you that the Bella twins were a part of that package when they were going to guest star on the show.
Yeah.
And when they dropped out and said, we won't do the show because we don't like the bit, they were like, remove it. They removed their footage. I promise you.
I mean, we may not see Ronda again for another 2 years. Fine. Y'all know how I feel about Ronda Rousey? For real. I'm not going to get into it right now, but cool. We don't need you. We don't want to see you. And to everybody that has joined us, thank you. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Can we say hi to Isaiah? Hi, Isaiah.
Yes, I don't know we did. Darren Thomas, what's going on? Well, yeah, I kind of wonder. No Beth Phoenix. Really. No Glamazon. Former champion. Just an American badass herself.
Has done so much for the business. Come back as commentator. Come on, man. She's come back and given. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
So I don't want to go on a rant, but that's basically what this live is about. It's really about the women. And I know some people will say the men are what put the asses in the seats, bringing the dollars. Perhaps a little more than the women, but maybe that would change if the women's division was poured into. I mean, we have the Usos having both straps, which apparently are going to be separated at some point. But at one time, you had a newly created WWE Women's Tag Team Championship defended across all 3 brands, which is crazy. That's crazy. You don't ask the men to do that. That's crazy. You have one Intercontinental Championship. You got one United States Championship. Are the men asked to go to every brand and defend it? No. And so now, what did NXT have to do? Get their own set of women's tag team championships. Why? Because there's women tag teams. You do not get into the professional wrestling business if you don't want to be at one point or another in your career a champion and hold gold. That's everybody's goal.
Yeah, your goal is not to stand around being a prop in the back of the main segment.
Jazz was legit. Thank you, Nation of Domination. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, it's me, Hemi C.
Very few people can hang with Jazz. She put that extra little tapatio on her moves. Just a little hot sauce. You know what I mean?
She Booker T'd it.
So many missed opportunities here.
I don't think Booker T was in the package either.
I don't call him Booker T. Well, I don't think Booker T was in it. I don't remember seeing him. I mean, yeah, look, Lesnar's a sure bet. I think that's fair to say. Whether you're kind of tired of seeing him coming at the end, just like he did the Royal Rumble, and all of a sudden just win it and go on, like, he's a sure bet to get the people talking.
Yeah, and do we want to see them face each other at Royal Rumble and again at WrestleMania? Yes, we do. If it's better and longer than the last one was, I mean, we could watch that all day because this is like watching two titans. Two titans go at it. That's what you want to see. That's what it's all about. Brock coming in at the end showed that somebody was a little scared. You didn't want to face you didn't face him at the front of the match when he was all healthy. You waited till he was down and hurt.
See?
Sorry, Dro. Like he waited till he was down and hurt to play his music and come out when he couldn't even get up to face him. So I'm just saying, like, you showed that he kind of did scare you a little bit, but you came back ready to fight, so I'm here for it.
Hey, Dane Opong, welcome.
Hi.
We appreciate you coming in here. Kill Dixon, you make a good point. If there is an issue with a former WWE superstar on a different show and they can't show him, I do kind of get it. I do.
Except for they did,
last
night play Raw is Jericho. And that was so purposeful. That was so purposeful. I was like, we could still use this. You may be over there, but you were Raw. You know what I mean? Like,
so basically the Bella Twins told WWE, you just made the list.
Yep. They made the list.
And I don't think they're wrong.
I don't think they're wrong either.
But I'm saying, like, get over your petty crap. We're beyond that because now Raw 30 is over and it is never going to come again.
Right. I don't know if not showing up to the show was the right thing to do just because, like I said, you could have twisted it and said whatever you wanted to live while you were there if you really wanted to. But for the fans who wanted to see you, it's a bit disappointing that you weren't a part of that show.
It was definitely disappointing, but at the same time, what are you supposed to do if you don't feel like who knows what the segment was going to be? But if you honestly don't feel like you're going to be utilized correctly, and it could be an ego thing on the Bella's part, it very well could be. Everybody seems to have big egos in this situation, and Raw 30 is a pretty big event.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying we're, as women, don't feel that we're going to be represented properly, and then that was like you were already on 8, and the fact that women just were not featured from your era, previous era, afterwards, you just went all the way to a 10 and the pot just boiled over. I think that's what this is. Is anything going to come of this? I don't know. But I tell you what, that give Divas a chance, something did come of it, and we did give them a chance, and things did change. If it wasn't for that, I don't think we would have women's tag team championship titles in either NXT or WWE at all. I really don't. Because there'd be no reason to, because you're just not going to treat them the same as the men. But that's what makes it more of a kick in the nads for me, because you're saying that we do appreciate you, we do respect you, we do treat you the same as men, but yet your actions show different.
Right.
I think that's the bottom line of what ultimately they were saying. Was Chyna in the footage? Yes, she was there briefly.
Early on. She was one of the first people I noticed in the footage at the very beginning.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about, Zay. Jazz versus Bianca. Woo!
That would be so tight.
And I know Jazz is basically retired, but she can still go. Jazz, if you're out there,
no, I'm not.
I tagged you on Twitter.
I'm not trying to see somebody out of their prime going against someone in their prime. That's not fair.
She said that. I didn't say that.
That's not a true. You think that Jazz thinks she's in her prime?
All day. The women in that locker room right now, current Raw or SmackDown WWE superstars that can't lace Jazz's boots.
Oh, you're right. They could have had Chavo Guerrero there. I don't have any idea why they didn't.
Again, 30 years, a lot of people, you only have so much time. Almost feel like Raw should have been a 2-night thing like WrestleMania. But I don't know. It's just weird. Bailey, you're engaged? Okay, well, congratulations, Justin Davis. We appreciate you. Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. He didn't come out. We were concerned about that.
Right.
But this is what I'm saying. Monday Night Raw is Vince's baby. Wouldn't have happened without him. You have to pay homage to the man that literally came back in some way, which they did with some blurby segments and him doing that thing. It goes without saying. I wouldn't have expected anything less.
Right.
But I definitely didn't want anything more.
That's a really good way to put it.
You dig what I'm saying? But I mean, there were plenty of people that contributed to this success that I don't feel like it's fair that we have to one more time have another hashtag saying that the women are not being properly utilized. Except on NXT. NXT seem to use their women a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they get down in the ring.
They do get down in the ring.
Which I appreciate, which I know we're going to watch NXT as soon as we're done with this, because we're not going to take up too much more of your time, because we know this is an impromptu. But, yeah, Dro, Cowboy Brock is back, and I'm pretty sure this means, and Jacqueline. Oh my gosh, thank you. Jacqueline. Dude, come on. Come on, guys. 3 hours.
Right.
3 hours. These women put their, just like Nikki Bella said, you put your blood, your sweat, your tears into this business.
Mm-hmm.
And all you want, I've said it many, many times. What's the number one thing in professional wrestling? Respect. That's all this is, man. Is that this is the whole reason why Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out, because they felt like they were being disrespected.
Right.
And they had to take a stand. I think the Bellas are just feeling not only disrespected for them, but for the entire women's division, past, present, future. You have to do something to fight the power.
Mm-hmm.
You know
and
what I mean?
usually that's only going to happen when someone is in a narrative where they're doing well enough with their own, their name, their outside of WWE status, which is what the Brie and Bella are, right? That's what Sasha is. She knew that she could afford to walk out and go on and she'll be fine, acting or doing whatever. I don't feel like Naomi was at that same level where she knew for sure her job was secure to come back. I feel like she kind of walked out on Sasha's name. I don't know if she would have done that solo. And since Sasha's moved on, it makes me feel like you had to come crawling back. It's almost how I feel. And so I think that with this, it's kind of the same thing you're saying. Like the Bella Twist could say, not only am I not coming back, but I'm gonna tell everybody what I think about this and that and the other, and people want to listen.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone who was backstage and only worked at Raw ever so often, or one of the smaller wrestlers, Nikki Cross, if she decides I'm walking out because you won't give me a chance, nobody's going to care.
Right.
You don't have that weight. Nobody cares if you walk out. So you only really can be that confident to stand up for yourself, and it matters, and the world knows if you've made a certain level of success where people care what you have to say.
Right. That's pretty much the gist of it right here. Sophie Dofi with a super chat. Thank you, Sophie Dofi.
You.
We appreciate that. They broke up the bar for no reason.
For no reason.
There was another recent group faction, African American males, that also was broken up for no reason. Who was that?
Who?
That may be back in business, if you will. It's time to expand that business, the Hurt business. I tell you what, with this situation with Brock, perfect opportunity for MVP to re-ingratiate himself with the Nigerian Giant to a little assist with Brock Lesnar. I personally love it, but yeah, they do stupid things for no reason. Mm-hmm. And you're right, George Lowry, NXT, every week without fail.
Yeah.
Show their women. I'm a big proponent of factions and a strong female in that faction.
Right.
So you have this tribal court. Come on. Do you know how, even if it was a one-off and you had no intentions on having Tamina in the bloodline, people would have geeked out to see her come out, even
Mhm.
after the fact.
Right.
They would have geeked out. It just would have, come on, dog. It's the emotion. You're pulling on heartstrings and you're killing us, Larry.
Mhm.
That's all I'm trying to say right there. Aaron Drew, super chat.
Thank you.
All right. What's up, family? Big heart emoji. We appreciate you. Circle message. Since the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is in Sammy's hometown of Canada, and you see the cracks between Roman and Sammy, do you see Sammy versus Roman at the Elimination Chamber for the belts?
I don't think Sammy wants to see that. Sammy has never tried to come at Roman like anything other than I know that I need to bow down to you as the alpha male. Wouldn't buy that story that he would want to face Roman. I just wouldn't even buy that story.
Even if he did, even if some way, somehow this whole thing goes left and Sammy's on the outs, he don't want that work. He don't want that smoke.
Mm-mm.
Flat out. I mean,
Mhm.
Sammy's good in the ring. So
Mhm.
he's highly skilled. Take nothing away from my
He's
man.
scared
Sami
of
Zayn.
everyone in the bloodline.
But he is not trying to have that smoke. He couldn't beat Jey Uso on his best day,
Mm-mm.
in my opinion. So he's going to take it to the Tribal Chief?
Right.
No, sir.
No, sir.
I wouldn't mind seeing it, though. I don't mind seeing a little beatdown. Quantitative, the Taker Bray segment, because they got some history, that was tight.
Yeah.
It was the only thing that threw me off, and this is just me and my technical ways. Taker seemed to be having some problem with the motorcycle. I don't know if that was his. I don't know if he had
He
some.
couldn't get the kickstand down.
He
He
had
couldn't
some
get it.
problems.
I don't know what was going on for a minute.
But I love the segment.
Yeah. It was you knew instantly when his music came on that it was going to be a passing of the torch. And it was good. I mean, it was good. He had already got the torch passed down to him from Mick Foley. But this is a different kind of torch because I feel like Bray has totally turned into, for sure, the next Undertaker. If not, he may surpass him with how many different supernatural, successful, crazy characters he's had, and how it was great. It was very important.
I'd say what they also could have done for the show, if there were obligations that people couldn't get away, video package, just congratulating Raw on 30 years from many ex-WWE superstars,
Absolutely.
male, female.
Absolutely.
I don't think that peppered in,
Mm-hmm.
like with the video packages and then having a few people after or immediately after the video as part of that video package.
Yeah.
That would have just kept in with the pace of the show perfectly.
Yeah.
Couldn't do a video package? Come on, dog. That's weak sauce.
I mean, honestly, we don't even know if all those people were actually filming that in backstage. You could have been filming that anywhere. So that's like why video packages pass for backstage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having them there for sure.
Darren Thomas, to answer your question, I've said that on previous shows. I think a crossover event should happen once a year. That's money all day.
All day.
Okay, because it's just like any football game, any basketball. You've got team over here, you got team over here, you got your supporters, regardless of what is happening. People who will love it, people who will hate it, it will be money regardless. Once a year, make it happen.
Good night, Jay Dolphin.
Good night. We appreciate you. This is what I'm saying. So, Tamina, future champ.
I don't think so.
I mean, it took her 10, 11 years to get tag team gold.
She has been in such bad ring shape the last couple of times I've seen her that I'm no longer even like holding my breath that she's going to join the bloodline. Because I don't know why she's not practice like you're going to join the bloodline.
Yeah.
Be ready so when they give you that opportunity, that you remind them how badass you can be. But every time I see it and I think, oh, you're about to show them and remind them, and then you're like winded and I don't feel like you're even practicing.
And what about
My feelings are hurt.
the Hart Dynasty with Natalia? I know we had some clips. We saw Brett and whatnot. I don't recall seeing Natalia in any of that. And she also is a former women's champion.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but that also was weird. There was just a lot of, I see y'all a fan of The Circle on Netflix. Yes. Circle message. Yes. Drag her. You know what? I don't know.
Circle send.
Circle message. Richie Bailey with the super chat. We appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
Richie Bailey. Wouldn't mind Lashley and Omos versus Brock in a handicap match at Mania. Kind of like Taker did at Mania 19 versus Big Show and A-Train. That's a lot of beef in that ring.
That's a lot of beef in that ring. I was like, they're going to have to extra enforce that ring.
I would just go, good God almighty, that damn ring has got a family. Because that ring will collapse. That would be tight, actually.
I mean, you might see it because Omos keeps coming out. I mean, that might end up being Omos is trying to help Bobby, but they end up making it a three-way. That's not far-fetched.
Yeah, it's not far-fetched at all, actually. Thank you, Richie Bailey, our defending champion.
Champion.
WrestleMania is going to be the end of the bloodline. You think so?
I mean, man.
Yeah, see, his motorcycle's messing up. Exactly.
Yeah.
You started the show. Let me get that microphone real quick. All right, again. Well, I was gonna be, dude, and is this one working now? Right out the gate, you had problems, and then Taker comes out. It took, obviously, we were like, where is he? As soon as his music hits, we totally geeked out. Which, by the way, reaction coming up. I don't think it's live yet. I think I didn't say it live, so I apologize. We got a couple of Raw reactions coming up. Right out the gate, he had problems coming out there, and he had problems with the kid. Like nothing goes smoothly, nothing goes perfectly. They did the best they could. Overall, the segment was good.
Yeah.
But
it just stinks. I'm sure he was so mad. Like, for real, you can't make sure this mic works for me. Come on, man.
The torch was fumbled. I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was, but I think they're trying to make up for it, which they need to, because it was fumbled then, and I think that it was successful now, and I think that this Bray that's come back is on whole nother level than he was before he left.
Dro, you're basically saying Brock and Bobby with MVP is the same thing as Goldberg versus Bobby with MVP. I mean, but unlike Goldberg, Brock can still go.
Yeah, no, Brock is on a whole nother level than Goldberg to me. Goldberg once upon a time, but today's Goldberg, I mean, he doesn't belong in their category anymore.
Goldberg's got the heart.
Yeah, he's got the heart, but if your body won't go, then what does that make?
Jay Money said you're speaking some blasphemy. He got love for you, but Bray never going to surpass Taker. Never, ever.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's a crazy thing to say, and maybe it doesn't seem like anybody, because it's a whole different time. But I think that it's harder to get people on board with the supernatural now than it was then. It's a different era, and I think that he's doing a great job bringing it
he's doing a very good job.
This century.
We have no idea what Karrion Kross's plans are going to be. You talk about a slight fumble.
And let me tell you something, y'all. If y'all saw my reaction when they came, I was way excited that they were here, and I forget they're here until you tell me what's up with Karrion Kross. Oh, he does go here.
Yeah, I don't like this whole messing with Ray.
No, it's I don't know why they're wasting time. I don't know what they're doing.
Because
Scarlett's in-ring debut was so awful. It was so awful.
Yeah, she needs a little more practice in the PC. She needs to go back to the performance center.
So awful.
Clean up a little bit. But you don't come back and go straight for the head of the table, the man that runs the entire show, and Drew. You go from that to Rey Mysterio, who's basically on the the wind down of his career. He can still go too. Don't get me wrong.
But come on.
It just is. It's weird.
It's weird.
I don't know quite what they're doing with that.
I think what they're trying to do is that they're trying to do the RKO Legend Killer thing without calling it Legend Killer. So I think he's going to be like going through legends, but that you started saying you were going for the top of the food chain. And then you took on Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Couldn't get their hands up once unless Scarlett was doing something dirty. And then you just went downhill because you weren't successful enough in that beef with Drew to show that we would all think you were going to win against Roman.
Who doesn't love the circle? We love the circle too. I don't know if there's a new season on, but yeah.
I love you too.
BFAB does need to, there need to be some skills honed. That's kind of what we said about NXT. We always looked at NXT as kind of like junior high or high school. You graduate to the main roster. It's always weird to see like the OGs who are in college, since graduated from college, alumni, basically come back to junior high to wrestle. It's still a little weird. I'm still not used to seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, J Money. Brock
you got to train them up some kind of way.
Brock came out on Bobby.
But yeah, I mean, well, he did, and that's why
he didn't come out until Bobby was down, and him and Austin were both down, and Bobby was hurt. Then Brock came out and basically had to pick Bobby up in order to slam him. So I said for him to wait until he was hurt means that he's still a little scared. You got a little scared.
So A and B is like high school. Wait, what? We're like high school? Are we high school? Okay, then you senior. I got the leather jacket. Raquel needs to be repacked. Yeah, you know what? We've said that several times to Nation Domination. Where is this NXT killer Raquel? I don't know. I love the fact that she's in the Royal Rumble, and she better damn well have a good showing. At this point, I think it's 31 minutes. Who all is going to be in here? But Rhea Ripley is looking like the forerunner right now.
Well, here's the thing. So when they brought back, and don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Mia Yim, but they brought her back to pair with the OC to have this quick little thing, and then it just went away. And now the OC is gone.
Well,
what are they doing?
Nothing.
And so now then you don't know what to start doing with Mia Yim, and she's kind of becoming a jobber already. But if you would have utilized Raquel, who has not been doing well since she got here, by herself as a face, and you put that face with OC, and you give us Raquel and Rhea, because that's what we all want, and they're going to have a good match because we already know their chemistry. You could have really played that out a lot longer.
What I want to see, the last two, Rhea Ripley, Beth Phoenix. I'm saying Beth Phoenix will enter the Royal Rumble. I think Edge will enter the Royal Rumble.
I agree. Are we doing our Royal Rumble
prediction
show right now?
We are not doing that. That's going to come up Thursday. We're doing our Royal Rumble live prediction show Thursday. No, are we? No, maybe not Thursday. Maybe I don't know yet. It'll be this week.
We'll tell you when we know.
It'll be this week. Either way, that's what I think it needs to come down to, and then ultimately Rhea wins. So we're in Rojas. It's okay. Better late than never. Although we are just about ready to get out.
Right, but we were glad that we saw you.
So real quick, show of hands. I mean, I know everybody thought that, that Raw 30 overall was a fire show. But do you feel like the women did once again get the short end of the stick? It
was almost like you cheapened our victory. It was this amazing show. And then you cheapen it by making us realize that you just, once again, like you said, left the women behind. And it kind of sours that victory a little bit.
Here we go. Super Chat champion. Thank you, Richie Bailey. Yes. Solo, Sammy, and Cody are my final three for the Rumble match. Solo, Sammy, and Cody.
I think when you read Richie Bailey's comments that you should read them like you're Jey Uso.
I try that, but it's real hard to get in. It's real hard to get in there like that, Us. Yeah. But I'll tell you right now, my man Super Chat's right here. You family, dog. Yeah. I don't know. I tried. I like that prediction.
Yeah.
And we will be talking about it. So we look out for the notification on that. Thank you, Richie Bailey. So yeah, show of hands. Yes.
That's a great prediction too.
I didn't notice it until y'all brought it up, going to be honest. But Now that we did, yes, they did. Yes, see, yes, the women got hosed. Thank you. Hey, Marie, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't Jimmy Uso say anything during the trial? I don't know.
It was kind of funny because I noticed that he was sitting back there and he was just listening. And I mean, they weren't speaking at that time. But when Jay got up, Jimmy just like, he was like, well, I was like, you would think he would be eating popcorn like he was just watching the show. He had no intention on saying anything.
He looked, I would liken it to somebody that's a little baked. Who's just,
He was just
I'm good, dog.
I'm good, yo. Nothing. Chilling.
That's how he was. Which I can't be mad at that. And I'm not mad at the super chat by Aaron Drew. Thank you, Aaron Drew. Aaron. What if they're saving most of the women legends for a Rumble as surprises and didn't want to show them all on Raw? That's possible.
I mean, yeah, for sure. As far as I think that could be possible. I think that just because you show us someone in a package doesn't mean that we think they're going to show up because you're showing old footage. But I mean, I'm hoping that we're going to be really pleasantly surprised with the Royal Rumble and that the women get more time just because this conversation was had, even if it wasn't scheduled to do so in the first place. But
I think for me, if women and men were shown in a video package, in my mind, that would make it that much less likely that they'll show for the Royal Rumble because they clearly don't have time for Raw 30, which is gigantic. It's only going to, Royal Rumble happens every year. Raw 30, this is it. It's gone, never coming back. So I would think that they would not, in fact, show up. But, what do I know? But you could be right, Aaron Drew.
yeah,
We will see. There's a lot of surprises in the Royal Rumble. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. Man, what's going on?
Yeah, man.
You want Cross to go back to the ball cross? Well, I'm not mad at the hair. It's just sometimes it kind of falls in a weird place. I mean, the gel that he uses, sometimes there's something about Mary.
I actually think this is the best packaging he's had thus far.
Yeah.
That he's underperforming, and he needs to figure that out. I do think that and it could be that the writers are writing out, but the fact that he came out and they let him come out on Roman and then he went downhill to me is because he just wasn't living up to what he needed to do. He wasn't performing in a way where we were demanding to see more of him.
No, he wasn't. So, we don't like to nitpick, but overall it's a good show. I mean, we've had some horrible shows, just absolutely atrocious. So overall, good show, but do not want to negate the notion that the women in 2023, it's 2023, and we are still talking about the women not getting their place at the table with the men. And I will stand by that. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole thing. What up, Greg Felty? So that's it for us, folks. We just want to come on here real quick and then talk with y'all, get y'all's feeling on this, get your opinion on this. Aaron Drew coming in with that super chat at the last minute.
Coming in.
My final three in the Rumble is Cody, Seth freaking Rollins, and Sami Zayn.
Wow.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. If Cody really is destined to take the title off of Reigns, he has to win the Royal Rumble. He has to. And that's the only thing I don't like about this is I want to see a good match. I want to see a good 30-man, 30-woman battle royal. I just hate the idea of knowing somebody is in it that is more than likely going to win it. Because it's almost like, let's just get to the end already.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I love when they pull the last minute swerve.
I love the swerve because that pisses everybody off. We're just sitting here like, and I'm hoping for it. Sophie Dophie, thank you very much for your super chat. My final three is Seth, Cody, and Sammy.
Okay. Yeah. So now this has just become a thing. It's like consensus here. I mean, I can see it.
Okay, what about this for a swerve? What if Sammy wins the whole damn thing? What if Sammy Uso wins the Royal Rumble?
Oh, maybe
perhaps
on a technicality.
With the help of Jey Uso. Some way, something.
With the help of Jey Uso.
I'm just saying he holds the rope down. Maybe he gets in, gives somebody a toss when the ref's like something. Let's just hear me out because it just dawned on me. We're over here talking about Cody's return. We're anxious to see it. Mm-hmm. We know he'll be a champion at some point. But this bloodline thing, just gold. Okay? Just delicious gold.
I don't
what
gold.
If Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble? What if he proves himself? Think about the animosity. There's only one man that the winner of the Royal Rumble is going after. The man that literally holds both straps. Do I think Sami Zayn has any chance of winning?
Of course.
No. But dude, you talk about carrying over some. I just think the next few months, him interacting with Roman, knowing that he's the winner of the Royal Rumble, that he's coming after his title. Come on, dog. I'm just saying.
That would be a swerve.
That would be a swerve, right? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, what's going on, Jimmy Snow 132? We've been here, baby.
Well.
We've been here. Yeah, I am conflicted, Richie Bailey. I feel like it could come down to Cody and Sammy, and somehow Cody just doesn't get the job done.
Yeah.
I think we're all expecting Cody to win and go on to face him at Mania or wherever. But if
it is Cody, Seth, and Sammy, like for all we know, Seth and Cody can accidentally go over the ropes together and then, fighting and pull each other both down, and Sammy's left in the ring. He didn't mean to win it, kind of thing.
Because it's been a minute. If you remember Daniel Bryan, the Yes Chance, and he took over Raw. He took over Raw, people. He shut the show down. But the crowd was in it. This crowd is all on board the Sammy train right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, mind's blown. Okay, that's it for me. I got chills just thinking about it. We will talk about this at the Royal Rumble prediction show, which will be coming up soon. Richie Bailey, that last super chat. We appreciate you, Richie Bailey. Come on now, dog. Circle message. I can see Sammy winning and them cutting to backstage, and Roman and Paul have their mouths wide open and shocked to end the show.
Oh, we're going to see. Now y'all making me think they might do that. Don't ruin it for me.
I think that would make sense. That actually, because usually the 30-man battle royal is not the last thing. But if that were the last bit, the 30-man battle royal does happen at the end like that. Woo! Sammy's winning this, dog. Okay, that's it. I can't. I'm going to get out of here. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We didn't get into everybody's comments. We love you. It's nothing personal. I do apologize if I missed anybody. Thank you to our super chatters. I cannot say this enough, and I see another super chat came in here. You guys give us your hard-earned money to support our channel, and it means the world to us.
It does.
So we do not take it for granted. We thank you very much. Just like we don't take it for granted from my OG friend. What's going on, Shayla? Sammy won't want to challenge Roman. I know.
Right, but he would have that. What are you going to do with the opportunity? Can you forfeit it? Would it go to like? I mean,
They may try to get him like to do it, but I think that'll be part of that. Like Sammy's conflict. Like, no, I don't want to. I earned it. I'll lay down for you. I'll do whatever. And then, the Tribal Chief leaves with Paul Heyman, and you just kind of see Roman. Sammy just looking off, and you know how they do that, just looking off in the distance. I don't know. But that's going to be fantastic. We love y'all so much. We really do. Thank y'all for showing up like you always do. Thank you to all of the Super Chatters. We had any Mod Squad in here? I think we did. Thank you.
did a lot. Sorry we didn't shout you out, but you know who you are.
Thank you to the A&B Mod Squad. Thank you to everybody that just stopped in. Thank you to all the people that were in the chat. We would not be here without you. We sincerely thank you. And come back for some more A&B combos.
Wrestling Edition.
Folks, we got a couple of Raw reactions that'll be coming up. One's dropping tonight. One will be dropping tomorrow because it's not done yet. We will have our Royal Rumble prediction show this week. We don't know what day just yet. More than likely, it'll be late Thursday. And then we get into it.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to give a prediction show when you haven't seen the go home show.
I know.
But we'll see.
That's it, folks. What's up, Wesley Franklin? How are you? Thank you, Aaron Drew. We really appreciate you guys. So have a good night.
Good night.
If you're not home, drive safe. If you are home, go to bed. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Good night.